If you did not know, I am an antinatalist.
This is Amanda Conover. I don't know how you say that. Conover, whatever, however you say the next part of her name. She's from TikTok, and basically she's an antinatalist. Well, I'm going to be showing you her part of the video, and I will be debating it. So let's go ahead and get started.
And people give me a lot of negativity about that, but today I wanted to talk about why I don't think having kids is a personal choice.
Okay, let's just stop real quick. It is a personal choice. It has to be, because someone had to make that choice. Now, let's just say real quick, the baby is non-existent, right? Okay, good. Now that you understand that he can't make the choice not existing. You have to be existent to make a choice. Yes, he was brought into the world, but someone made a choice to bring him into this world. You see why it's a personal choice? Because it's their personal choice. It's not about the baby's personal choice because he doesn't exist yet. I just wanted to explain that real quick.
I know society makes us all think that having kids is a personal choice, and a lot of people believe it. I used to believe it too when I was a sheep following the herd of society. But when you wake up, you realize it can never be a personal choice because there's someone else involved, there's another life involved.
Again, the baby cannot make that choice. The parent has to make the personal choice because the baby does not exist, as I've already said. And if you're going to say, well, it will involve his life when he's born, worry about that when the time comes. You act like giving life is a crime. If it was, then why aren't people in jail? You see, life is the greatest gift of all. Why would you want to take that away? It's always a personal choice if it involves someone or something that can't make a choice. Just like the meat industry, the animals can't make the choice to not be eaten. We have to make the choice to eat them or not.
Another child who did not consent to being brought into the world. I would not have consented to being brought into the world. I'm a little bit mad actually that I was born. I get mad about it a lot.
But here you are on TikTok as an activist. And if you were never born, you would have never been able to be an activist. So be thankful for what you got. And if you were never born, your philosophy that you've been teaching people, those people would have never known. I'm sure the people that found out from you would have never ever found out about it, right? So you should actually be happy and feel confident.
But yeah, there's no way it can be a personal choice because there's so many other factors that go into it. I mean, it involves the environment, it involves other people, it involves that child specifically. It's not just like a personal thing, you know? It doesn't just affect you.
See, I like to see life in the most positive way possible. That child isn't born yet, so you don't know how that baby's life is going to be. He could be the happiest person alive, but not if you don't give him life. The point of life is to make the best of life possible. That's what we're here for, to make the best of it. We're not here to be depressed and wonder, what if, what if. We need to stay happy and stay motivated. The point is, why would you want to push that same kind of negativity onto others? Why do you feel the rest of the world should feel that same kind of negativity? If you feel there's something wrong, then you need to work out your own problems, but don't try to make other people feel that same depression.
If you call yourself an anti-natalist and your reasoning is overpopulation, you're actually just an eco-fascist.
Hello, Lauren. I honestly don't think there's any problem with worrying about the population. Some people are worried about overpopulation. That's no problem. It's natural to worry about those kind of things when you have so many people on the planet. But I would also think that's the only reason why people should even be anti-natalist in the first place. But I'm not anti-natalist. It's called freedom. People have the right to be a parent. If they want to be a parent, then they will.
Anti-natalists choose not to have biological kids because it's an issue of them consenting into being born. If we really wanted to, we could feed 11 million people. We just don't distribute our food properly. So
11 million people on the planet? You might as well be growing your own crops and taking care of yourself. And good luck trying to get a job. There's nothing wrong with children being born into this world. It's the way you look at life, and it's what you make of it. If you tell yourself you're miserable, then that's what you're going to be. Life is what you make it. It's all about adaptation.
So we as antinatalists understand that this will never become a worldwide movement, as our ultimate goal of reaching voluntary human extinction is not a realistic one.
Why is human extinction your ultimate goal? Why aren't you looking at the positivity and only the negativity? You don't seem to be looking at life as a gift. You don't seem to be seeing that life is promising. You're only looking at the negative side. Because one thing goes wrong, that's it for everything? Because there's one bad egg that there should be extinction of all of them? No pain, no gain. How would you ever overcome anything in life without trial and error? There has to be some trial and error in life to learn how to overcome. This is how you better yourself as a person.
What we can do in the short term is prevent the loads of suffering that's already happening.
Trial and error, buddy. And as I've said before, no pain, no gain. How do you expect to accomplish anything by sitting around moping and being depressed, you know? If that's how you see life, then you're not going to get anywhere in life, man. If you want to create a positive impact on this planet, then you should probably talk more about positivity. Let's just say if you had a child. I mean, you never know what the future is going to hold. Accidents do happen, you know? But let's just say if you had a child. Are you really going to sit there talking about so much negativity and suffering to make your child depressed? Because children don't like to hear about all that suffering. They want to hear about positivity because it makes them happy. Why would you make a child depressed? I mean, they're going to learn about suffering as they get older, that suffering does exist anyways. But when they're that young, you should really teach them about happiness so that child can grow up at least trying his best to become happy. At least if a child knows that happiness exists, then he knows that he can be happy. Why try to brainwash someone with negativity? That's really not cool, you know?
Now, if I can convince even one of you to have one less child, that's an entire lifetime's worth of suffering that would have been prevented.
Says who? You don't know what that child's going to experience in life, so why call it into existence?
Think of the trolley problem, the one where 5 people are stuck on the main track, and you can pull a lever to divert the trolley to a different track with only one person on it. Now think of the end result if those 6 people were just never born.
That sounds like a really horrible way to look at life. Sounds kind of messed up, you know what I mean? I mean, how could you compare something like that to something that's not happening? Your whole trolley situation isn't happening right now. There might be people that are sad and suffering, but that doesn't mean everybody is sad and suffering. You know what I mean? There's a lot of happy people out in this world, you know what I mean? Yeah, sure, there's going to be tough times in life, but that doesn't mean that they can't be happy or that they don't deserve that chance to become happy. You can't take away happiness from people. I mean, you can try to persuade them, but why would you do that?
It is a bit of a cop-out to combine 2 ethical problems into a singular solution, because not all the variables of the situation have been accounted for. But just consider adoption instead of bringing more suffering into the world.
Yeah, your definition of suffering is not my definition of suffering. Just because you see people being born is automatically suffering doesn't make it automatically suffering. I see life as having obstacles. You have to be able to get over those obstacles in life. There will always be obstacles. The good thing is, for people that are having it rough or struggling, there's usually a helping hand out there in the world. And people usually can get some kind of assistance out there. People can get help that they need. That's the difference, is there are people out there that will help you with whatever problems you have. That's why there are therapists as well. The point is, there will always be a helping hand out there in the world. Just because you live in a situation where you think those around you aren't being very helpful doesn't mean that you have to just cancel everyone else out in the world just because of the situation that you're in. Now, help can be anything. It could be advice, someone to talk to, or even financial support. There will always be good people out in the world that will do their best to try to help those that are suffering or having it rough.
So I saw a couple people asking about antinatalism, and it is a topic that's very interesting. I wasn't always antinatalist. I actually just found out about the term a couple months ago, but...
So, we're back with Amanda again. And as she said, she hasn't always been antinatalist. She was only antinatalist for a couple months, but yet she fights really strongly for it.
Basically, I am antinatalist because I believe having kids is wrong. Having biological kids, that is.
But you've only been natalist for a couple months, and already having children is wrong. It just seems like people will join a group, being new and everything, and automatically think they have all the answers, that this is the way, without even delving deep enough into it. You know what I mean? It's just like those vegans out there that have only been vegan for a couple months. They'll tell people that consume animal product, you support animal abuse. Well, weren't you just omnivore a couple months ago?
I think adoption is great, and I love people that adopt. If I ever wanted kids, which I don't think I will, but if I ever wanted them, I would definitely adopt.
See, I have nothing against adoption. I think adoption is great, and I support it wholeheartedly. But the problem is, there's a lot of mothers that want to experience that first bond. Like when a child is first born, they develop a certain bond between the child and the mother. A lot of mothers want to experience that, but there's a lot of mothers that won't get to experience that. I say for them, save the adoption for them, the ones that would at least like to have a child that maybe can't have children. So that would be great for them.
My thoughts are that having your own kid is pretty selfish if you think about the reason why you're having that kid instead of like adopting a kid that's already in need. I think that that kid is guaranteed to suffer some in life.
Adoption could be pretty pricey, you know. Not everybody has that much money to adopt. It could cost thousands of dollars to adopt. There's always foster parents, but not everyone gets to be a foster parent. And that's a whole other ballgame anyways. But it is funded by the state. And as far as being selfish goes, I don't believe you should be using the word selfish when it comes to family. Because antinatalists are taught that it's selfish. But them, do they even feel that way? Or is it just because someone taught them to believe that?
I have the viewpoint that if I could go back, I would not consent to being born. Like, I'm glad I'm here now and I'm thriving. I love life. But I definitely went through so much suffering that I wish I would have never been born a lot.
But you're here now. You're teaching people about anti-natalism. You have a roof over your head. You're clothed. So where's the suffering? And even if you're using it as past tense, it's the past. What's done is done. You're in a new point of life now. So it's time to move on. You can't just sit there holding grudges in your past and blame that is the reason that you wish you were never born. You're living a new life now. You're thriving, like you said. So what's the problem?
Antinatalism is also connected to veganism for me. A lot of antinatalists are actually vegan, surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, I don't know. But yeah, definitely do some more research.
As you heard, guys, antinatalism is connected to veganism. I knew a lot of them were vegan. It just seems like another tactic for them to use against us omnivores. I'm starting to feel like vegan activists are creating more different kinds of groups out there to trigger more different kinds of people so they can get them to all become vegan. Thank you all for watching my video. I really appreciate it. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And let your friends know about this video too. And remember to share this video on social media. Let's get this video to blow up, guys.